day 3 of the video show. We are live once again for the 55th time in 2020. This is the 55th episode in 2020. We're not live for the 55th time, but it's the 55th episode of the video show in 2020. Something that I didn't even know until today. Oh, hold on. I've started playing over here as well. Turn that down. I've made 55 episodes over the course of the year, which I'm immensely proud of. This is something that I really try and do quite a lot of, and I think having like lockdown, the first lockdown especially, really helped me to create these videos really regularly. So in this episode, what I'd love you to do is to comment as we go along. So if you've got any questions about video throughout, I'll try and answer them. And if you've got any ideas for future episodes, any questions you want me to tackle for episodes going into the new year, then post those in the comments as well. I would be very happy to answer them because I'm always looking for ideas for new videos as well. And then remember to like and share and subscribe as well. I would really appreciate it. So we're currently live on LinkedIn and YouTube. So hello to if you're watching this live, or hello if you're watching this following up later on. So we're just going to turn that music down a little bit so we can start the episode proper. So in this episode, the final episode of the video show in 2020, I'm using a slightly different system to do the live stream on. I'm using a system called Ecamm, something I have not used before. I haven't even tried it out before. So I thought, why not try it for the last episode of 2020? I usually use StreamYard, very happy with that, but I'd heard a few good things about Ecamm as well. So I'm going to try that out sort of alongside StreamYard over the next month or so, and then decide which I feel is better. So I'll probably do a video on that in the new year as well. So in this episode, I want to take a look back at 2020, so a year that's been absolutely mental for every single person on the planet. The videos I'm going to show you are sort of the videos that I've taken throughout the year, videos that either I've learnt from or maybe forgotten about. We're going to look over them and sort of see my genuine reaction to them, because I haven't looked at them, but some of them I remember and some of them I think will be quite relevant to look at. So the first video I wanted to look at was episode 268, 55 episodes ago, the 2nd of January 2020, when we were all sort of young and innocent and didn't know really much about COVID-19 or anything like that. We had it all to look forward to. On the 2nd of January 2020, it was my first episode of the year, and it was all about my top tips for 2020. I haven't watched it back since, but let's just look and see what I put in it, and then if any of that's still relevant, what kind of things were relevant in it, and then is there anything that's still going to be relevant going into 2021 as well. So let's have a look at that, and then we'll come back to me live again. Hello and welcome to episode 268 of the video show, the first episode of 2020. So I thought in this episode we'd talk about the things to consider when you're creating videos in the new year. So number one is create episodic and regular content. This is something I've been banging on about for ages and ages, but it's just simply creating regular series content. So whether that's creating a series of 12 videos and then posting that over 3 months, and then having a little break and then post the second series later on in the year, just having regular content, regular series of videos, and putting that effort in to make those videos look as good as you possibly can. That's my top tip for creating videos this year. And that leads neatly into the second tip of creating videos in 2020, and that is making sure that you give really good value. Obviously, that's something that everybody talks about, but what I mean by good value, it's not just creating videos just off the hip and putting a little tip here and there. It's really thinking about how you can help people, how you can give advice, how you can create really good and valuable videos. Talk about stuff that people aren't talking about, stuff that you've noticed, stuff that people are asking you. Be brutally honest when you have to be. Just make sure that you're giving value, you're being genuine. That's how your videos are going to stand out, and that's how I think your videos will stand out in the new year. Because loads of people will just creating videos really quickly. They're not really thinking about the content or the value or anything like that. But if you're really putting the effort into making those videos as valuable and as genuine to you as possible, that's how you're going to stand out. Number 3 is be clever in letting people know what you do. It's really easy just to say a list of things that you do in videos, but I think if you're clever in letting people know what you do, if you're having conversations about, for example, you create podcasts, if you're having conversations about podcasts, if you're creating podcasts for other people, if you're creating videos behind the scenes where you're creating podcasts, people will get that message. You don't have to be really obvious by saying, we're doing this, we're creating these podcasts, we're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing this. If you're just showing people what you're doing and not openly trying to sell it, that's how you're going to stand out. Just be relaxed about it. Don't openly sell in your videos, especially straight away. Lead people down the path. Let people know who you are for a little bit. Build those relationships, and then you can start selling later down the line. And lastly, play the game that social media companies want you to play, but build your own list at the same time. Don't just build your list on LinkedIn. Don't just build your list on Facebook. Don't just build your list on Instagram. Make sure you're building your list separately on your own platform as well. So build your email list separately. The way you do that is just play the game that social media companies want you to play. So encourage people to share, like, comment on your content, but slowly build that email list off the side of these things as well. Don't just rely on the list that you're building on these platforms. So that's it for my tips for 2020. Hopefully that's given you some ideas. In the next episode, we're going to talk about how to come up with ideas to create videos throughout the year so you never run out of ideas. Obviously, after 268 videos I'm making, I've still got some ideas that I want to create in the next few months, in the next few years. I'm always coming up with new ideas and I want to share those with you in the next video. So as always, if you want to get these videos in your inbox at the end of every single month, just type inbox me in the comments below and I will send you all the details that you need to know. That's it for now. I'll see you in episode 269. Happy New Year. So back with me live, reacting to that video. First thing I noticed was that's probably the last time I actually shaved the beard fully off. So that was an interesting one. The studio, as you've noticed, has changed loads as well. Like I've put loads of effort into making the studio look good. We've got loads of different sort of sets, well, 2 main different sets in the studio now. Something that I've been really interested to notice was that people that have come here over the past few months, they've said when they see these videos and they come here, what, it's a lot smaller than I thought it would be. And I think I've done really well in doing a lot with the small space that we've got here. So we've got the main set you can see behind me that we use for like the mob show and for this show here. And then we've got another set to my left here with which I use for pre-recorded corner, which is like a blue background, a wardrobe and then pictures and a table as well. Something that I'm really interested in and something that really gets me like talking really easily in terms of video is creating different backgrounds, and this is something I've been really interested in with creating the shows I've created over the last year or so, and creating new shows going into next year as well, is creating these different backgrounds with the space that I've got. So you'll see a few new shows come out in the new year and I'll be talking about those on this show, but it's really interesting to notice that I've made good use of the small amount of space in this room. So second thing I noticed was what I was talking about was pretty, like you'd hear that from a lot of people in terms of make regular content, whether that's like a limited series of 12 episodes, then a break, then 12 episodes, or an ongoing series like the video show where I've made 55 episodes throughout the year. It's sort of, that's kind of your bread and butter in terms of video really. You've got to be making this regular content. Then obviously you've got to give value as well. Yeah, I say that kind of stuff a lot. Yeah, and I think everyone's aged incredibly over the past year, so I do look quite fresh-faced there. And also something I noticed as well, that I made a decision sort of mid-January to start wearing shirts. Obviously that went out the window in March with COVID and lockdown and everything, but I thought I looked a little bit messy there in that video. So let me know what you think. In terms of what you should be wearing in your videos. What do you wear in your videos? I did make a video about that this year as well. So the next video I wanted to talk about was something that just as sort of COVID was really like gathering pace. And this came out 3 days before the lockdown on March the 20th. Well, I made it on March the 20th, which I think was a Sunday. But yeah, it came out just before the first national lockdown. And this is all about getting your messaging right. So I think I remember Gal Gadot, who plays Wonder Woman, made this video where she was singing Imagine, and I thought it was really annoying to watch like all these rich famous people creating this video saying, oh, it'll be all right, when everyone was at that time, myself included, was really worried about what the hell was going to be happening over the next few months. So let's take a look at that video now and then get my reaction to it in a minute.
Hello and welcome to episode 280 of the video show. Today we're talking about getting your messaging right over the next few weeks and months. So as you most definitely know, the coronavirus outbreak is starting to have a big effect on the UK. It's causing people to lose their jobs. It's making pretty much everyone really worried about what the hell is going to happen. There's no real answers yet in terms of what's going to happen in the short, medium or long term. There's advice on what to do, but there's so much uncertainty that it's hard to sort of understand and get your head around what the hell is going on. So I wanted to sort of talk about getting your messaging right in terms of video, in terms of marketing, in the next few weeks and months, because we don't know how long this is going to last. The reason I wanted to talk about this was because I saw a video which was made by a bunch of celebrities where they were singing John Lennon's Imagine, and after about 2 seconds of watching it, I felt physically sick watching it, because I think it was so wide of the mark on what it was trying to do to what it actually achieved, that I think it's important to make sure that you're getting your messaging right over the next few weeks and months and however long it lasts, because you've got to be sensitive to how people are feeling, that people have lost so much, people have lost their jobs over the last few days really. So for me, my main problem with the video was it felt very preachy. If you haven't seen it already, I'll put some sort of shots over this so you can see what it's like. I'll put a link below so you can see it. But it felt very sort of, it's all well and good, like these rich celebrities sort of singing Imagine and oh, let's bring everyone together. But when people have lost pretty much everything over a few days, it just feels so insensitive to what they're trying to achieve. So let me know what you think about it. That was just sort of my feeling upon watching it. I literally could not watch any more of it. So I think in terms of getting your messaging right, you've got to maybe change how your business works. I know I'm going to have to shift a lot of my work from filming, physically filming over the next few months to editing. I'll be talking about these in the next few weeks. So I think it's important to just be aware of how people are feeling. Everyone's scared at the moment. Nobody really knows what's going on. Nobody really knows how long it's going to last. So I think it's just about helping where you can, working together, just pointing people in the right direction and trying to stay strong over the next few weeks and months.
So yeah, I've learned a little bit more about that video since. So I listened to a podcast with Chris O'Dowd from the IT Crowd, who was in that video, and he said he didn't really know what the video was for. He just was friends with somebody who was putting the video together, and he just sent the video. So I think take it with a little pinch of salt, like how that video was put together. Obviously not everyone knew what it was for, but I do think it did come across quite condescending at the time. I remember like how uncertain everything was. There was no like definite like help from the government or anything coming from like stuff like that. So at the time it was really stressful for everybody. Like nobody really knew what was going to happen. And like even like looking at that video now, it does like annoy me a little bit with like the angles of the camera, especially for Gal Gadot's camera where she's kind of looking down and she's like, oh, I'll help you. It just doesn't sit right with me, that kind of video. But I think getting your messaging right in times of crisis is really vital. It's not about sort of going out and trying selling stuff. Really, like a few people did this really well that I know personally, and it's just about reaching out and making sure that people are all right on a human level, like human to human. Are you okay? And that kind of stuff, where I heard from people like that, where they were sort of reaching out, just making sure I was all right, that really sort of helped me and make me feel better about the whole situation. And I tried to do that as well with other people, was just to make sure that they're all right, like just as a friend, as a human being, to make sure that like they're all right, the family's all right, and if they needed any help. So yeah, it's been an unprecedented situation throughout the year. Stressful as so stressful throughout this year. But yeah, that was a video that I really needed to sort of bring up again, because that was kind of like a benchmark for me. Talking about that video in particular, I want to talk about a lighter note now, which is everybody sort of got into Zoom this year. I was quite heavily using Zoom anyway in terms of meetings and stuff, but everybody's been using Zoom or Teams or something like an equivalent video call throughout the year. Probably will be doing into the next sort of 3 to 6 months into next year as well. Hopefully things will start to get back to normal into next year. But this is a video I made making sort of fun videos with Zoom and teaching people how they could do that. So from that sort of stressful, horrible video that it was not very nice to watch, or it was a serious video, I wanted to make a video that's a bit more lighthearted to follow on with that. So this came out on
Hello and welcome to episode 295 of the video.
And it's just a quick video that I made in my lockdown room in my house, which is called Fun with Zoom. So let's take a look at that.
Hello and welcome to episode 295 of the video show. Today we're having fun with Zoom. Hello and welcome to episode 295 of the video. So yesterday I posted a video on LinkedIn that showed me on Zoom having a cup of tea. So I was sitting there in my seat, and then me in the background comes along, gives me a cup of tea, I pick it up and drink it. And loads of people commented on it, which I was really thrilled about. And I thought I'd put together a video just to show how you can replicate that and how you can do this kind of thing yourself. So let's have a look. So the first thing you need to do is to create a new movie recording. I did this on QuickTime. So through my webcam, I recorded myself bringing myself a cup of tea. I was very careful not to get my arm in it or my body in it as I came along. I came along, recorded it, put my cup of tea down, sort of nodded, looked at the camera, did what I needed to do, and then walked away. And then I was very careful when I put my arm back in so it wasn't in shot, just to make sure that it wasn't in shot at the end of recording. Then in terms of getting it uploaded to Zoom, you log into Zoom, create a new meeting, and then when you open Zoom, you choose new virtual background, add video instead of image, select the video that you want to have as your background, and then there you've got it. You've got hours of fun, bring yourself a cup of tea, and just see if the people in your Zoom meetings notice. So that's it for episode 295, a very short but quite a fun episode. I would absolutely love to see what kind of videos you come up with in your Zoom background. So if you want to record those, send me those. Just enjoy having fun with them, and I really want to see what kind of videos you come out with. So that's how you do it. Enjoy it, have fun, and I'll see you next time in episode 296. Bye-bye.
So you can see the old lockdown hair was starting to grow there. But yeah, that was a good fun video to make, where I saw something like that on Twitter and I just decided to replicate it in a Zoom meeting that I was on whilst we were sort of working. So it was a fun video to make. It got a lot of response on LinkedIn, that video. And hopefully it just sort of made people feel like a little bit better about everything that was going on. So yeah, that was fun with Zoom. I think that was a really good video to make. I think it was one of the first new examples of the new opening credits as well, and interesting to see sort of how the look of the video has changed as well. So we'll be talking about that in the next video I'm going to show, which was Facebook Live top tips, and this came from me when I hadn't really used Facebook Live very much. So this is going to be interesting to know, because over the past definitely sort of 6-7 months, since sort of May, June onwards, I've started to use live video a lot more, and really tried to push the live video. So at the start of the year, the video show was totally pre-recorded and then just put out on LinkedIn. And now it's all live, going out on Facebook, LinkedIn and YouTube simultaneously. And I hope to continue doing that over the course of the next year as well. But the video show, that's what it's all about, is changing what it is, changing how these videos are made, and then seeing how it works and how I can sort of copy that with my customers as well. So using those lessons and then transforming them as well into what I can offer. So this video came out on the
Hello and welcome to
2nd
episode
of April,
287.
so it's before the previous one. So it's still in my little lockdown cupboard in my my house at home. And then it's just about Facebook Live top tips. So I haven't watched this back since April either, so this will be interesting to see what the hell I was talking about, because I didn't really know a lot back then. I've learnt a lot since. So let's take a look. Facebook Live top tips. Enjoy.
Hello and welcome to episode 287 of the video show. Today we're looking at everything that I can possibly think of about Facebook Live. So I've been asked this question I've been asked loads of different questions about Facebook Live by multiple different people, ranging from how do you get the image to look the right way around in the picture, how do you make sure that you shoot in landscape mode when you're doing Facebook Live. So I wanted to cover every single possible thing that I can think of when it comes to Facebook Live. The phone I'll be using is my iPhone 8. I haven't upgraded for a while, but this is sort of going to be a look into how it works on the iPhone. I don't have access to an Android phone at the moment, and my wife's got an iPhone as well. And obviously we don't have contact with anybody else at the moment because we're in lockdown. So we're going to be looking very much at the iPhone side of things. So if you've got any thoughts or questions about Android side of things, feel free to ask me. I will do my best to answer as much as I can. I will ask people who've got Android phones what they think of it. But I'm really going to be concentrating on how it works on the iPhone, just because that's all I've got, all I can get my hands on at the moment. So let's have a look at the iPhone and how that works in terms of Facebook Live and the kind of things you should be doing when you're creating a Facebook Live, right from the very start all the way to shooting it and then saving it afterwards so that you can share it elsewhere. Okay, let's go. So another good option if you're going to be creating videos from home, other than putting your phone case against a chair or leaning it up against some books or putting it on your tripod, is to stick it up against the wall. So there are various cases that you can buy that stick to the wall, stick to surfaces. But I thought, as I've got loads of command strips in the office at the moment, I'd try this out to see how this works. So I put a command strip on the back of my phone and I put a command strip on the door there. Not sure you can see it. So what I'm going to do is stick it to there, and we're going to do the Facebook Live from that point. There we go. Okay, the Facebook app opens up in portrait mode. If you see, if I take this off the wall quick, it's portrait like that. And then if I turn it to the side, it gives you a landscape option. So let's see how that works. This is a big problem that a lot of people come up with, is when they are shooting it in portrait and then they decide to turn it to landscape last minute, it doesn't particularly work very well. But if you set it up from the very start, as far as I can tell, every time I've tried this, it has worked like this. So I'm just going to set the privacy from public. So you've got public, friends. You can do this from your group as well. So you can go live on a group, you can go live on a page. But just for this test, I'm just going to put it to only me, so nobody can see me prattling on to you during this video. Otherwise it won't make sense if I'm talking to a camera and not talking to them. Okay, so the way a lot of people have asked me this question as well is, what if you, sometimes the shot of Facebook Live flips around. So if you're wearing a t-shirt with a logo on it, something like that, it appears the wrong way around. So I'm just going to grab something to hand to show you how that looks. So I've just got a DVD here, and that is the wrong way around, isn't it? And I can see Canon on the camera the wrong way around. So the way you fix that is click on the little star magic wand in the bottom right hand corner. You go to the toolbox then in the bottom right hand corner, and then you just flip it. And then you can see it's the right way around. Great. Okay, so that's how you fix that. And then you can flip it vertically if you want that effect. Maybe if the phone's upside down by that point, you can flip it so people are seeing it the right way around. So that's how you fix it. A lot of people have asked me the same question when it comes to that. How do you fix it in terms of flipping it? So that's all you do is the magic wand, the little screwdriver and the spanner, and then that button there. As I said earlier, I'm not sure if that works the same on the iPhone as it does Android. I'll do my best to answer any questions about that, but do let me know if you've got any more questions in terms of iPhone, Android, anything like that. So then you click off of that, and then you can go live by pressing that big blue button there. then it's a little bit of a wait, and then you're live. So you can see you're live by the red live button in the corner, and then I'm guessing people will comment in when that comment button comes up. People will comment, there'll be likes and stuff going on. You can add a donate button if you're a charity to that. So then you go on, you talk, you do your video, you play your music, whatever, you dance around, whatever you need to do, and then when you're done, you click finish. That will save your video. That will save your video, and all you need to do to save it to your phone when you finish, so a lot of people want to upload their video elsewhere, so they want to put it on YouTube and then make that look like a live video on YouTube as well. Bottom left hand corner, click save, and that saves it to your camera roll. Okay, and then you can share it out to your pages elsewhere, other groups and things like that. But I want to click off, and just to show you that it has appeared, go to my photos, and there I am. You're live by the red live button in the corner, and then I'm guessing people will comment in when that comment button comes up. People will comment. So that's it for this episode 287, I think, about going live on Facebook from your iPhone. If you've got any other questions about going live on Facebook, if it's in terms of Android, I'll do my best to answer, but obviously I don't have access to an Android at the moment. I keep saying that. But if you've got any other questions about video as well, or creating videos from home during the lockdown, then post them in the comments below. I'll be very happy to answer them. That's it. I'll see you next time in episode 288. Bye.
So that's the video on Facebook Live that I made all the way back in April. So the way I make live videos is totally different from that now. It's really interesting to see that. I think that's a pretty good video to see how to go live on Facebook through your phone, but that's totally not what I would do now. I've learned so much about live video since then. So I'm using Ecamm to go live at the moment. I've got my camera, my microphone, I've got an audio switcher, I've got a video switcher as well that I'm switching between the video and the iPad on. I've used StreamYard to go live across multiple platforms as well. I really need to make an updated video on how to go live now, how I do it, and then you can maybe take bits from that in terms of how you can go live. So what kind of platforms you could use, what kind of equipment you'd need, and then sort of pick and choose bits from that. So that's probably something I'll do in the new year, is create a video about what my live stream setup is and how it's changed since that video, because that was really interesting to watch. I haven't watched that since April, but it's really interesting to see. And I think one of the main reasons, which is something I wanted to talk about a little bit earlier, but let's talk about it now. One of the main reasons that I've changed this, my live stream setup, is purely because I was totally inspired earlier in the year by a video series I saw. The video series in question is called Out of Office Hours. Let's just take a look. So I'll just click over to this screen here. You see me? Yeah. I'll go down there. It's a show created by Chris Levine from Wistia, and it's just him going live from his house. If you watch this series, you'll notice a lot of similar themes across his video series and the video series, the video show that I'm creating here. So I've really been inspired by this series in terms of how it looks, the kind of equipment he's got, and I've sort of taken bits from that and created my own series off the back of it. So thank you, Chris. Thank you, Wistia, for putting this series together. It has really inspired me to really up my game in terms of live video this year. If you haven't watched this video series yet, make sure you watch it. It's fascinating to watch. It's one of my favorite series to make, and it's to watch rather. And I've really enjoyed watching it. And it's really inspired me over the course of the year. So talking about that and how that's inspired me and what that sort of brought me on to, how that's changed the way I work over the course of the year. I've gone from sort of creating and going out and shooting stuff, having to change really quickly how I go out and make videos, because it's not been as possible to go out and film with people this year, obviously. So I've managed to make a lot more use of this space, obviously, and move some events online. So this really started with Franchise Fest in July, which was the first live event that we did using a platform called Hopin. That was the most stressful day of my life, bar the birth of my son. So that was a totally stressful day. All of what was going to happen was theory in my head until like 2 days before, where I could sort of start practicing it, because that's when I got the switcher here. But it was a really steep learning curve, especially the first sort of 15 minutes, where everyone was like bombarding me with the sound's out of sync, or this camera's out of focus, or that battery's dying. And it really sort of made me learn really, really quickly how to create live video. And having stuff like that, and having the video show, moving that to a live series, and making live series like the Mob Show, and a series coming up in January as well, that's really helped me up my game in terms of live video, to the point where I really want to push it even further. I want to make live video where it's the equivalent of a TV show, is where I want to get it to. And I think this is a stepping stone to get to that point. I think this is a really good version of a live video, where I'm using a lot of different equipment to sort of push the limits, push the boundaries of what is possible. And I'm really, really excited by that. A few other things that have inspired me throughout the year. A few different YouTube channels that I just want to give a shout out to. I know they won't be watching this, but if anyone watches this and they're sort of interested in learning about video and video equipment, there's two YouTubers in particular that I really want to give a shout out to. The first is Caleb Pike at DSLR Video Shooter. There I am. So this is his YouTube channel. It's so much stuff on video gear and stuff like that. You can see I've been watching these videos throughout the year, and it's really helped me sort of understand how to create stuff from your desk, and how to do that. And that's really, just watching his videos, an absolute delight. They're really, really well put together. Another one who I listen to his podcast as well. It's a really good YouTube channel to watch if you're into gear and stuff like that. Tom Buck, who creates, he's got a lot of stuff about the Rodecaster that I use and the A10 Mini that I use. He's got a lot of really good stuff on microphones and lighting and stuff like that. It's just, he's really good, and his podcast is great too. I know these people won't be watching this, but I just want to give a shout out to these people who have inspired me throughout the year. So thank you, and check out their YouTube channels as well, because they're really, really worth it if you're interested in learning more about video gear and stuff like that. This has got to be one of the longest episodes of the video show ever. It'll go up to 32 minutes. So that's it for episode 323. That's it for 2020. Let's hope that 2021 can be a year that's a lot more relaxing, a lot more enjoyable, a year that we can get together and see our family and loved ones and friends a lot more than we've been able to. Go into each other's houses. That'd be nice as well. Thank you for watching these videos throughout the year as well. Thank you for asking your questions. Thank you for commenting, liking and sharing, just getting involved. I really, really appreciate every single person that watches this. And don't forget to share these videos, keep commenting, keep liking. I really, really do appreciate it. And Merry Christmas. Start playing the little outro as well. Merry Christmas. Most of us are probably going to be in some sort of lockdown over the next few days, so hopefully you're all healthy and we can get this vaccine and get sorted out as early as possible in 2021. But yeah, thank you very much for watching throughout 2020. I really, really do appreciate it, and that's it for me for 2020. Happy New Year.